So, hello everybody. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. And it's that time of year, so I get these questions non-stop. Because one of the most popular things that grow, actually the mulberries, which I don't blame people. Mulberries are super delicious, easy to grow. You can't pass them up. And that question is, when's the best time to start cuttings? Because there's really no reason you shouldn't be growing your own mulberries from cuttings. They're super easy. And well, actually, that time is right now when to root your mulberry cuttings. As you can see, this happens to be world's best, by the way, which is not a bad mulberry. It's a nice, short, fat, really large mulberry, really good flavor. It holds on the tree nice, ripening up, and huge crops in the spring when it's breaking bud. And if you trim it just a little bit, and the summer, fall, you can get 2-3 crops a year off of world's best. And yeah, what more can you ask for? All mulberries, pretty much, if you prune them in the summer, late spring again, they'll give you a new flush of fruit. And world's best by itself, sometimes, not every year, but sometimes in the fall, will give you a really heavy crop if it's putting on a new flush of growth. But yeah, now is the time. We're nearing the middle end of August, and you can see they're starting to get some yellowing on the leaves, starting to drop the older leaves, and they're already getting ready to go dormant for the year. It's going to be September, and then it's not a long shot for the holidays and the cool weather, so they are already preparing for that. And this is the best time for about 80% of mulberry varieties to get cuttings to root them. A lot of people want dormant cuttings for rooting mulberries, and I found that's not really the best time to root mulberries. The best time is when the leaves are starting to yellow, they're putting energy into the wood, they're storing carbs for going dormant, but they're still growing. If you look, they're still on full growth, they're not stopping yet, but they're already starting to prepare to stop growing, you know what I'm saying? And these root almost 100%, the world's best. Some of these subtropical mulberries are easily 100% to root when they're like this. The native mulberries, or you're getting into some of the the Asiatic mulberries that are more cold climate species, those guys at this stage are about 60 to 80% take for cutting wise. And but anyway, this is the time of year I'm doing all of my rooting for my own plants. This, and then spring, of course, is another good time. But most mulberries do very well when they're in active growth for rooting. And you want semi-hard wood that's either, just started to turn brown, or brown but that year's growth. And that basically for all mulberries roots the best. So there you go, guys. Did you understand any of that? Rooting mulberries, guys. The best time and the easiest way to root mulberries is this year's wood, or that year's growth, and either when it's starting to drop leaves but still growing, or starting to grow. I generally don't like rooting mulberries when the wood's completely dormant, because then you just get tons of fruit, flower buds that open in all the buds when you're trying to root them. And the one good thing here about me being in Florida, and why I generally sell mulberry cuttings all year, is because my mulberries tend to be growing most of the year. They don't go completely dormant until we get a hard frost. And then literally a week after that hard frost, they're already starting to grow again, because, after that 20-degree weather or whatever, we're back into the 80s and 90s. That's Florida for you. But there you go, guys. Quick little video, just giving you a heads up on when you want to get your mulberry cuttings. You want to get them towards the end of the year, towards the beginning of the year. And the middle of the year is not bad, just depending on your species, which most of what I have are hybrids and whatnot, and they do very well rooting almost year round. But if you have to choose an absolute time frame, I'd say between August and December, and that's depending on where your cutting wood is coming from. But coming from me in Florida, that is a really good time to get your cuttings going, guys. So yeah, if you're looking for some mulberry cuttings, my information and everything is below. And that may look like a lot of growth there, but trust me, everybody needs to be growing food, and you guys have taken that up. Yeah, that sounds better. I don't know. And get to it. So I need to prune this mulberry, and I need you guys to get to growing that food, some super awesome mulberries. So yeah, there you go. Love you guys. See you later. Mwah. Grow that food, and yeah, become more self-reliant, become more responsible for everything in nature around you, and we can change the world for the better, one delicious mulberry at a time, I think. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Getting a bit tall. The only reason she's growing so much right now is because I had the ducks and chickens under her. So she got like a super dose of, chicken and duck compost manure. And yeah, this is the biggest I've ever had in my world's best. That's woo, that's 30 feet of growth in like just a couple months. World's best is normally on the smaller side. It's a dwarf type, which, is dwarf compared to an 80-90 foot tree like the Wakissa. But when they're happy and when they get tons of nutrition, they grow. And I'll tell you what, this is a row of 3-4 trees right here, and I will harvest probably about 40-50 pounds, if not more, of mulberries off of these come spring. Yeah, I literally drown in mulberries every year, guys, and they are some of the most productive fruit trees. Those berries add up. You literally harvest these buckets at a time, buckets. And some of you have been out here before when they're fruiting, and you guys have just seen just a wall of purple. These mulberries produce so much fruit. So see you later. Love you guys. Grow that food. Check out the description and everything below, and like and subscribe, of course.